I'm gonna get some alcohol. GG.
I
Come.
mean, fuck it, dude.
Are you saying something, motherfucker? Because I can't hear you.
No, so is he drinking Tito's?
Then in here, 2 shots.
What is he
of
drinking?
vodka.
Yeah, it's some kind of spiced rum.
What the? Oh, is that Cap? Wait, no, it doesn't look like a Cap. Morgan bottle.
Maybe not spiced rum. Maybe I'm wrong.
That makes me want to have bourbon. Fuck. Anyway,
I'm almost done
I mean-
with this bottle.
I agree with both parties in this situation. It would be
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Welcome back to the Lords of the Pointless podcast, where we talk about all things pointless. And today I'm your host, Max. I am here with the boys.
Boys.
What up,
I'm a boy.
boys?
I am of that male category.
Gender. Good for you.
Person.
I'm just a person. I'm just a man living alone in this world.
I'm a gamer. I'm the gamer gender.
Today I was thinking, like with video games and stuff like that, we live in a world where video games are pretty crazy, and I just can't think about what some of the younger people are kind of going through when they get into video games, especially with the way that VR is possibility as your first game you can play, it's,
So are you talking about future generations from now or the
no,
current
no,
generation?
right now. Imagine, I have a nephew who's maybe 3 years old, but I just imagine, being as a cool uncle, it's if you ever did get a chance to show him a video game, it's what would you show them, and how would that affect them growing up? Because when we grew up, we had Game Boys that are 2D, no color, going to 3D with Nintendo 64. So there was a progression that took years to get to this point.
So here's what I would say to
now
that.
you're kind of thrown into this generation where we have the best technology. You know what I mean? It's
100%.
it's
We
just
have
crazy.
amazing graphics, but a lot of the issue with that is that games cost so much more to produce. They're
That's true.
effectively a big budget movie, or even more in terms of budget. And as such, smaller projects, smaller genres aren't really utilized anymore. So I imagine, this is just an hypothetical. You take a 10-year-old, a current 10-year-old right now, and you tell them hey, have you played any platformers? Have you played any survival horror games? Have you played any
I mean, to be
adventure
honest,
games that
I
won't
don't-
open
I
the
didn't know
world?
any genres of video games that I was playing when I grew up. So you just name
neither.
off
I did.
the name. You just name off what it is. Hey, have you played Fortnite? Have you played Halo? It's
See, I was gonna chime in on
Halo
that
Reach.
too, because with this generation of kids coming up right now, that's the number one game.
Their
that they're
options
Yeah,
are
playing.
so
yeah,
limited
fucking
though, in
Fortnite,
terms of
dude.
what's available.
I mean,
Yeah.
not
Compared to the
really,
previous
because
generation.
if they had any interest in older games, they could always find that stuff. We're at
No,
a time.
I'm not saying they don't, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about for right now at least, the most popular with that younger generation and the most tailored to that younger generation would be Fortnite. At least for right now.
And I totally understand, because I came from Counter-Strike at that
Yeah.
age.
Yeah, same.
Counter-Strike is almost
That
the
was-
equivalent without the goofy fucking 3D
Counter-Strike
models and Fortnite dances,
soul.
and
It had soul. It was a
it
masterpiece.
did have soul.
It still does.
But in the
Fortnite
same
doesn't,
sense
is my
that
point.
it's the same thing as a shooter. You know what I mean? We grew up on things like Halo that were shooters, 4-player Halo.
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. We had shooters. they just weren't as goofy as they are now. But
Right.
It's bizarre how
Yeah.
in the modern age, one of the things that has truly died is the ability to just play with your friends in a non-online way.
no, that's true.
That's
There's like
completely
Yeah,
gone.
no
Any
yeah, that's
mainstream
huge.
shooter, there's no split screen, no
Yeah.
nothing. Back then, it was so novel to just be able to sit in a room, play some Halo with somebody, and just kind of enjoy being there, competing
Enjoy
in
the
person. It
moment.
feels so much more real as
Yeah, I
opposed to
remember
an
playing
online.
Noctur Untoten on the first World of War
Oh
or
my
World
God.
at
What now?
War Call of Duty. Yeah, I'm
Oh.
playing split screen on that, like 4 people on the original Xbox. Or no, that one was on 360. But still, like,
The new generation,
yeah.
their existence is so digital compared to ours
Yeah.
as millennials.
I mean,
Like, they
I
don't
spent
they
the
don't know
same
what the
amount
real
of
experience
time
is.
on the computer, as a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old playing Diablo 2 or World of Warcraft when that came out.
RuneScape.
So, RuneScape, yeah, RuneScape even before that.
You're one of them, I see.
Yeah,
Like,
I've
was
been
in
playing
elementary
RuneScape
school
since I was like
still.
8, dude.
Yeah, I was in elementary school when I was playing RuneScape and Neopets around the same time. So it's like,
Yeah.
I there was shit to play, but at the same time it was like, it wasn't
Yeah.
as it is now where it's like you're playing by yourself. You know what I mean? It's like you're
Hoping
Hoping
by
that your
yourself
friends will get
with
on.
people.
yeah. You're playing with
See,
all your like digital like games or whatever. Nobody ever comes over to your house to play them. It's like
It's
I'll just
all-
play with you online.
all
You
in
know what I
here.
mean?
It's all in here, you know.
See, I'm a
That's
little
it.
behind the curve when it comes to those games, only because my parents had a family computer, and it was pretty nice. The only thing was, I guess I was a little bit, I'm a little bit younger and behind the curve, because if I were to ask my parents if I could play a video game like that or something on the computer, what would their first response be? Number one, it would be why. And then number two, I would explain to them what kind of game it is, and they'd be like, "No, you're
Yeah.
That
too
sounds
young.
violent.
You can't play
Same.
that. That's
That
too
sounds
much for
violent.
you." And I'm just like, it's a game.
No, that's
Dude, okay,
true.
so to kind of like I hate to say this word, but caveat off that is fucking because my dad was in the Navy for like 22 years, and I would always go over to like my friend's house and play like the original Halo and like GoldenEye and stuff like that. And I remember I asked my dad for a PlayStation 1 I think it was a GameCube, and because it had GoldenEye on it. I think it was GameCube. And he goes, well, what games would you play on it? I was like, oh, well, I really want to get GoldenEye. And he says, well, what game is that? And he like Googled it on our like really old, same thing, family computer. And he goes, oh, it's a gun game. Well, if you want to, play with guns, like, why
I'll
don't
give
you
you
just
some real guns.
yeah, no joke. He says, yeah, like I've seen guns. Guns kill people, and like him being the with the mind that he has, like being in the Navy for that long, fucking he's just like, oh, I've been shot at and all this other
it's
stuff.
not a
and,
game to him. Like that shit's real.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, and it's like nowadays it's like I'm playing Apex a lot.
Well, now they get
Call of
you
Duty
they
a
get you
lot.
into the army through playing the games like Arma and shit like that.
Dude, seriously.
The
Let's,
biggest
like,
let's get these
I've
gamers
been like
in here.
I've been shot at. Like I've actually been shot at for real, and it's nothing like video games, man.
one of the biggest fallacies in all of politics in media is the idea that entertainment is necessarily going to shape or influence, when in reality it's just entertainment. This whole like games are overly violent, it's going to turn you into a violent person. It's the biggest fallacy
Bullshit.
in politics.
Oh my
It's
god,
been coming
yeah.
up since the 90s, really, since Mortal
The only
Kombat
thing
and
that
Doom.
did it was the Halo murder.
Yeah.
This kid
there's the thing,
murdered
though.
his whole family
bet you
because
look
they
into
wouldn't
that.
let him play Halo.
I bet you look into that though, and there's probably some serious mental issues with a lot of the people that do these terrible things.
Right.
That
Yeah.
that's more of the real issue, especially if you're in a bad environment or you're bullied or something like that. I had one of my favorite books that I read was called Geeks, and it was about the Columbine thing
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and
shit, yeah.
how like everyone was like, "Oh, well, they played Doom, must have
God.
been what caused it." When in reality, like people don't do messed up stuff unless they're messed up, and it's unfortunate.
Nah, they probably
that
just
they
had
look
like manic
that.
psychosis or something.
Or they were just fucking naturally evil
There
born
is a lot of
people.
those weird circumstances where somebody does blame it on a game, like the Slenderman murders.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah.
Right.
Like where the two
But that-
girls said that they were trying to
But-
contact Slenderman, or that they
Yeah,
were-
but that's the thing is the Slenderman has been a folklore. Like I'm trying to remember where.
But what
But
I'm saying
it's
is
been an
people-
urban folklore thing since before the game. Like they based the game off of the folklore.
Yeah,
and there's millions of people
obviously.
that have heard it and played it, and
Yeah.
they just think it's like some stupid entertainment shit because it is.
Yeah.
There has to be a line where people's actions, people take responsibility for their own entertainment, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, I think what it comes
Well, it's-
down to is like a lot of people they get in trouble, and that's almost like one of the things that they could blame.
Blame it on.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's a
like-
cop out.
Yeah, it's a cop out. It's not like they go into the house and they go, "Oh, we found a copy of Call of Duty online. This explains it all." It's like, they're in the fucking interrogation room going, I got the idea from Grand Theft Auto. I thought it was a cool game, and it's like,
Dude, okay.
it's like not
Okay.
an excuse. It's like a
So-
cop out.
It is.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
I mean, just recently, what was it, 2009 or 2020, when a lot of like, I think it was they were trying to ban shooter games, right? Or they were trying to like crack down on them and stuff. Well, it's like the certain games are rated mature for a fucking reason, man.
So
Like,
in the 90s,
and a lot of people were saying that, same thing what Max said is, oh well, they learned it from this game. Well, it's like, okay, they're 16 and you have to be 17 or 18 to actually buy a rated M game by yourself. Like you actually have to have a parent or guardian with you to buy that damn game. Right now, it's a little bit different now, just because a lot of platforms are like, digital downloads and stuff. So you could just set your age to whatever you want.
Yeah.
But back in the day, like I could not walk into a Radio Shack or wherever, like Best Buy or something, and buy Halo or Grand Theft Auto without my parents being there.
Mhm.
And, a lot of people say, well, how are they getting these games? It's the same shit as like weed or drugs in general or alcohol. Kids will find a way. We're smart. Like a lot of people don't realize that. If we really want something that bad, we'll fucking find a way to do it.
in the
That's true.
90s, though, when this discussion, like in politics, was the most prevalent, like when the most people in politics were saying video games are violent and bad, the ESRB didn't exist yet. So that's in the 90s when that sort of legislation was pushed, and that's how the ESRB came to be. Because we had games like Mortal Kombat, and
Oh, God,
ironically,
yeah.
one of the games that was also quoted in addition to Mortal Kombat was a game called Night Trap. Have you guys ever heard of that?
I
Mhm.
haven't.
Night Trap was a shitty FMV game. Do you know what an FMV game is?
Full motion video.
Correct. So yeah, a full motion video is basically just a video, like a
Yeah, it's like
recording.
it's like whenever you get an AC 130 on Call of Duty, it's literally FMV.
So Night Trap was like a shitty Sega, or just like a shitty 16-bit game on a couple systems. That the premise of it was kind of like a TV show where you had different channels that you could switch to, and each one would have basically like a scheduled. Think of it like a television show, like you're switching channels, but that was the game. So you would switch between these channels, and there was like monsters, or not monsters, basically just guys with like metal claws or whatever. And this is
Clippers
like
and
in
shit.
real life.
Dragon claws.
And it's acted, so it just is like cheesy as shit. And they have this like claw, like imagine like a giant metal claw, and they like get this girl, like, but it's so shitty 80s television looking,
Mhm.
like no actual human being would actually take it seriously. But when they advertised, or when they fought in like Congress and the House of Representatives to add the ESRB and to ban violent stuff, they quoted that video game as like some like ultra violent horrible thing, when it was really just like some shitty like TV show esque movie in a game.
Yeah, game
Uh,
formatted like violence that's actually like a movie technically.
But if that game didn't exist, and of course shit like Mortal Kombat, then we wouldn't have had the ESRB in the
And
first
that
place.
is that the
Yeah.
little rating on the back of the box or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Entertainment
E,
Software Ratings
T,
Board.
E,
Okay.
and
Because
and
I
R.
do remember
yes, I said
like being young and having that be a big issue, like when Mortal Kombat came out, and you can like rip people's skulls out, and or there was a code where you can turn on like blood. So like every time you punch somebody, like blood would squirt out of them.
Yeah.
And
Do you remember the game Manhunt?
No.
Yeah,
I was
I've
gonna
played
say
it. I
another
have
one
that
that was
game.
around the same time was Duke Nukem. Did you guys
Oh,
ever
yeah.
play Duke
dude,
Nukem?
yes.
Now
course.
that shit was addicting as fuck. I remember playing the
Rip
shit
your
out
head
of that
off
game.
and shit down your neck.
Very Doom-esque.
Dude, yeah, I mean, it was almost the same thing as Doom, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just with a different character.
It was a
It's like you
3D
could
engine.
play like Tekken and like Mortal Kombat at like your fucking local pizzeria, like
Oh,
for
yeah.
I did do
25 cents.
I did do this exact thing.
It was so accessible to us when we were, like 8 to like 12, and then they kind of just died off, I guess. Maybe I don't know, maybe till up till I guess we were like 16, 17, I guess.
I mean, there's a place around the corner from me called Nickel Nickel, and it's literally,
Nickel,
yeah,
bro.
it's literally
Dude,
like
yes!
5 cent
I
video
thought-
games and shit like that. It's pretty
So
fucking
it's an
awesome.
arcade.
Yeah, it's
I've
an
been to
arcade.
They had one
here
in Sacramento
Colorado.
too. Yeah,
I
they
did
had
not
one
know
in
they were a
Sacramento too.
chain because it was
Yeah, they're a
literally
chain.
the most ghetto arcade I've ever
Oh
been
yeah,
to in my
they were
entire
ghetto
Oh,
as
yeah.
fuck, but they were so awesome
So
because
ghetto.
$1 is like 20 games or something like
Yeah,
that. So it's
yeah.
like,
and you just
you
stay
go in there with
for
$5
hours.
and you have fucking 100 games.
Put your stack of nickels on the machine.
hmm Dude, I'd be at that pinball machine. I had nickels like held up against it, and kids would walk by and they'd be like, "Nah, fuck you."
Nah, bro.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to
like,
wait a
this is
few
my
hours.
game. I have all these quarters stacked on this pinball machine right here. I swear to God, if you come up here and try to take this, it's heads on sight.
Honestly,
Hands on sight.
that's another casualty of the online video game age. It's the arcade.
Yeah.
You know, in the
That's
U.S.
kinda
at least,
true.
arcades ain't around very much anymore.
I think what the big thing is the style of that style of video game quickly became obsolete because a lot of it wasn't able to be played with friends at that time because there is no online presence. And so
That's the point.
when the next thing comes along that is online, something like Halo or something you could play 4-player with your friends at home, things are going to quickly change. And
Have you guys ever gone to a Dave and Buster's?
oh yeah,
Dude, I was
fucking
just
love
about
it.
to say that.
Realized
Absolutely.
that every single game at a fucking Dave and Buster's is like an iOS port. Like you got
Yeah.
like a Flappy Bird arcade, like not
Yeah.
actual games, just all these like a Fruit Ninja game, like not actual games, just like fucking like bullshit iOS games made into
Yeah.
an arcade.
Mhm.
It drives me
To make
nuts.
money.
Yep.
Where it's like you could literally whip out your phone and play the same fucking game.
I think I might have mentioned this
Definitely Flappy
before,
Bird,
but there was there's a Dave and Buster's pretty close to me in Irvine,
Same.
and back when it first opened up, there was this huge Sega horse racing game that was like
Oh.
10
hell
people.
yeah.
And so each person had like their own computer and like monitor set up. And the way that the game worked is you'd pay the money, you would breed 2 horses to make your own horse. And when
Yeah,
your
I've
horse
seen
was
that
made,
game,
it
dude.
would print out stats and you would give it a name and then it would print out a card. So you could always keep that horse and like take it back.
That's
and
pretty
put it in.
cool.
And on top of that, there was all these different training modes that you would be able to get. So, you would go through the different levels of, acceleration or being able to run on the grass fields compared to the mud fields. and there was
Yep.
this whole fucking like game around the game. And then finally, once you're like, I think it was like a 15-minute break, like in between races. Every 15 minutes, everybody that's sitting next to you, all 10 people, would put their horses up in a derby to race. And so
pretty cool.
everybody around you is like, rooting for their own horse, getting wild and shit like that. Like,
Dude, yeah.
dude, it was
Sega?
so much fucking fun. Like,
Sega and Konami are the only companies that would have been weird enough to do something like that.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
printing
do
out
it
the little
well.
cards and stuff like that.
Well, Sega still is weird. Konami doesn't give a shit anymore because they just care about pachinko machines.
True.
Oh, so one thing I actually do want to touch on is just like how do I say this? It's like the futuristic of like what gaming and just arcade stuff is like going in right now, like the direction they're going in.
VR, mostly.
Well, yeah, but then on top of that, like my wife and I, when we first started dating, our thing was playing like all the claw machines at like a Food for Less or like Walmart and stuff like that. Dude, nowadays you can get an app where like you like use a claw machine from like across the fucking world in like
Yeah.
Japan or something.
Japan.
And you can like
Really?
get shit and then they fucking ship it to you.
yeah.
Like that's
It's
so cool.
literal-
I've always
it's
wanted
literal
to try one of those.
webcam claw games.
Yeah,
It's kinda
it's
neat.
like I've
It's
always
fucking
wanted to try
awesome. I love
And
it.
you know what the
Pretty
best part is?
dope.
Crane games are already like impossible enough as it is.
that.
So
No, they're not.
like,
You just need to know the fucking what's it called? There's like a
some of them are
system to
rigged,
it.
though.
No, so yes, they're rigged, but you have to know like so yeah, you're gonna spend about $5 to $6, but you have to know like what the system like it's kind of hard to explain, but there's like a code behind it where it's like, okay, I know that after every 8 tries, the claw actually grips, and that's the
Right.
one that I need to make sure is like
But
the right one so I can pick
I
it
guess
up.
the point I was trying to get at is you're not going to be any better or worse
Well,
if you're doing
no.
it through an app. You're still going to be about the same skill level because those things are so inconsistent as it is. So because of that, that's cool as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but just the fact that it fucking exists.
It
Like
and the fact that it exists, and the other fact is that most of the time they actually have cool shit that you might want.
yeah.
How many times
There's-
do you walk up to the claw machines and it's just a bunch of like stuffed animals that are really random, or it's like footballs for all the different teams in the NFL? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's not a lot of great prizes, but like
They
in
have
Japan,
fucking-
there's
There's a
like
lot of
They have
exclusive
fucking
figures.
squishmallows in
yeah,
those
they
damn
have
things
so
now.
many different things. Like you can basically like tailor like a lot of these websites. Like you can tailor what you're looking for like the certain claw
Yeah.
machines.
There's exclusives.
Yeah,
Connor,
there are exclusives.
Connor Dog VA. He did a recent YouTube video where he did, crane games and stuff.
That was the second
And-
one actually.
There was a couple of figures that were exclusively made from an anime for that arcade. In this case, it was the Taito arcade,
Yeah, Titan.
and that's sick. Stuff like that. And it doesn't exist in the U.S.
right?
There's a lot of shit that doesn't exist in the U.S. that exists in Japan. I want to go to Japan. I want to live in Japan. I want to be Japan. Nihon.
He's gonna be the guy that
Yeah.
walks down the
You're
street with a
weeb.
fucking full body pillow. Like people don't here understand me, and then he goes to Japan, and then, it's that meme where it's like everybody's looking at him all fucking weird. And
Nihongo
shit.
o benkyo. Oh,
um,
fucking Christ.
so
Nihongo o benkyo shimasu.
Hasagayo.
we I am definitely planning on actually visiting Japan whenever
I'm going
the
with
world
you.
opens up.
Yeah, I do too.
Justin, I definitely like
Should we
to
all just go?
invite you and make that a thing. You know what I mean?
Should we all just go? Just say fuck it, dude.
I mean, it all depends on like timing and stuff like that for real.
Oh yeah.
know? But
'Cause
if
we
you
are
guys,
weebs
you
and
guys are
shit.
more than willing to come with us, like it would. I think it would be a lot of fun. I've already
fuck
been
yeah.
twice.
Cam,
so
are
I
you
can show
down?
you guys around,
Cam nodded his head nonchalantly. So
Cameron hasn't said anything in a while. Say a thing.
A thing.
I was hoping for something like butt cheeks or something.
You could have said pee-pee.
The thing.
The
end.
thing. So okay, I had another question that I was thinking about. Let's say down the road, somewhere in the future, we're all getting old. Technology's pretty advanced at this point. If there
already
was
advanced.
such thing as the Matrix, like somewhere
Yeah.
you could jack in, like you could just lay in a bed, jack in, and actually feel like you're, locked into like a world. But
So
let's say
essentially,
it's
the
a world
entire
of
like plot of Avatar.
kind of, but let's say it's something that you can make up as your own world. Like you actually have
Okay.
the ability to change things around you at will. Like this is basically paradise. Would you just say fuck it and like, go into sleep mode for years and years? Like let's say you're old as fuck, you know what I mean? Like you're 80 or something. You're retired, you know. Maybe your wife's dead or she's willing to do this with you if you
So here's
said
the thing.
yes.
If something like
Yeah,
that
I just killed my wife.
exists-
Okay.
No, I
If so-
said like if she was dead or she was willing to do this with
I
you.
know, I know.
if something like that exists, at first it would probably just be recreationally for most people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't due to the fact that we have basic needs that we need to survive. I don't picture this kind of thing being any more prevalent than, let's say, a video game. Like you play a video game when you want to be entertained, and then when you're done, you do the rest of your life, you do your fucking taxes, you go to work, right? I don't think our society, our capitalist society, would allow us to just waste our time effectively in this world
but tax
permanently.
season-
Allow
lit.
us? What are you talking about? Who the fuck has control over me like that where I can't
point.
decide what to fucking do with my own fucking body?
Mark Zuckerberg would probably own
Ah.
this Matrix.
I mean,
Anyway.
yeah,
Zuck.
that it is laughable,
The Zuck.
obviously. But I
Zuck
just mean
cuck.
like, yeah, just try and stop me.
So there is a great book series that I used to read religiously
Oh, here
as
we
a
go.
kid. Excuse me? You want to fight?
Here we go.
You want to fight?
Trying to fucking fight, bro?
All right, so
Cash me outside, bro.
catch me out. Dude, okay.
I'll fight.
We're
I'll fight
talking-
like they do in Sacramento
We're
with your
talking about
hands up
that.
like this.
You just brought up an interesting point. But okay, so I used to read this book series as a kid called Pendragon. And it was just, a young adult kind of like fantasy, sci-fi, kind of, adventure kind of book, right? And one book series that I'll never forget is the fourth one in that series. And the whole plot of it was basically like there was this planet that had that. It had like this virtual reality matrix that they could just jack into anytime they wanted and just do whatever they wanted in like a virtual world and choose whatever they wanted. And at the end of the book, like the society basically collapsed because all these people were just in this. The resources started to run out, and everything went to shit basically because everyone was just trapped in this virtual world. And that'll always stick with me is like, yeah, virtual world will be awesome. You could
So
do
what you're
some
saying
crazy shit.
is, in
but
this
it's not-
book,
it's not
everybody
sustainable.
fucking loved this idea.
Exactly. Yeah. The whole
Okay.
world essentially in this book.
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
Pendragon
What
book.
I'm saying is, forget about the consequences. Let's say this is a utopia where like things are fucking amazing right now. This is just something normal people fucking do. When you're 80 or whatever,
But they would probably do it
things start to get
recreational. They
hard to
wouldn't do
move
it all the
around or
time.
whatever, and this is like the best ways to live the back end of your life. I would go for it. I would say
Hell
fuck
yeah.
yeah. If it was something like the Matrix where you couldn't feel the difference between real life and maybe they do hook you up full of tubes or whatever, that's a
And
little
that's what they
freaky,
did
but
in the book. And society outside of that virtual world collapsed because everyone was in the virtual world and no one gave a shit.
yeah. But I'm making this my perfect world where it's a utopia outside, so it
Gotcha.
doesn't matter.
I've been looking
what's
at
going
Cam
on
this
outside.
whole time,
This is
and
all
he's
about
just been
you.
he's just been giving this the
Sounds pretty
nastiest looks of
selfish.
just.
What about you,
What?
Cam? What would you do?
I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it?
Not
it's
at all.
just like
Not for
VR.
fun.
Like, let's say you could take it as like a vacation or whatever.
You play a video game and then you turn
Number
the video
one, I
game
wouldn't
off.
live to be that old in the first place. And number
Oh,
two, that wouldn't be feasible because it's been disproven multiple times that that wouldn't work.
The human
I'm making
mind
up a
is
hypothetical, you motherfuckers.
It's a hypothetical that has a lot of holes in it.
hypothetical D.
I covered all these holes.
No.
That's
So
what she
here's
said.
the holes that I'm talking about
God. Okay,
is
let's
if
hear
you were to do that and it was only for old people. Right?
No, it doesn't have to be for old people. What I was saying is in the later half of your life, it would be like the ideal optimal time to do it. Would you do that?
No.
Okay.
Boo.
Because of Inception, when they're in that dream world for a long time,
Yeah.
they literally lived their entire life in the dream world, right? So they are already old as shit in the dream
So they
world.
wouldn't want to get out.
And then they had to kill themselves to wake up. And when you wake up from that, you're who you were before that. Do you know
that
how
would be
trauma?
mind-boggling.
And that's the thing. And the reason why Leonardo DiCaprio's wife ends up killing herself after that is because she's so traumatized from coming back from that, she couldn't tell what was real anymore. And that's why I wouldn't do it, is because if I'm already in the later half of my years of my life, my brain's probably already going to start to go, and coming back from that would be insane.
You wouldn't need
Have
to
you guys
to
not
come
seen
back from that.
Inception?
If you were already that far gone, you wouldn't want to come back from that.
But
Exactly.
right, and that's what I'm saying. So if you're in that perfect dream world, though, or this perfect state that you create, it's still not going to last forever, because it's only going to last until your body dies.
So you'd rather be like bedridden or just like dealing with your life day to day, like
I'd
being
take the human
crippled
experience
or old or
over a
something
fake
like that?
reality.
I mean, I'm making this sound really bad. Okay.
But fake reality has naked Asian chicks. Do you refuse?
Yeah.
Oh my!
Real reality
surround
has
yourself
Asian
in a
chicks.
harem.
Real reality has that
reality.
too, dude.
Yo, you ever seen a fucking isekai? You want to be in the isekai,
Oh
dog?
my god.
Big
Yeah,
shit.
but that's not real life.
What
that's
if you
fine.
could live in your own anime world? Okay, how about this?
Video
Let's change
games ain't
this
real
up.
life.
Let's
And then
change
you
this up.
play the video games, and then you turn that shit off. When you're done, live your real life. But then when you like, hey, I want some video games, you play that shit. Except instead of video games, you can get
No,
based Asian
It-
chicks, virtual world. You're good.
it wouldn't work.
No, I
'Cause
think it would.
you'd never
I think it
come
would.
back.
I think it would
Recreation, dog.
totally work.
It's the
okay,
same
You'd
as
have to
going
have
into a movie.
like a
I want to
time
no. I want to
limit.
hear. I want to hear Chance's idea. Chance? What do you think about this?
Before that, I'm gonna get some alcohol. GG.
I
Come.
mean, fuck it, dude.
Are you saying something, motherfucker? Because I can't hear you.
No. So, is he drinking Tito's?
Then in here, 2 shots.
What is he
of
drinking?
vodka.
Yeah, it's some kind of spice rum.
What the? Oh, is that Cap? Wait, no, it doesn't look like a Cap. Morgan bottle.
Maybe not spiced rum. Maybe I'm wrong.
That makes me want to have bourbon. Fuck. Anyway,
I'm almost done
I mean-
with this bottle.
I agree with both parties in this situation. It would be
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
very cool because especially if you're like in your older years and you can, god damn it, I still can't get over the fact that Max is chasing Saki with fucking Ross. Why not just have a fucking Four Loko? God damn it. Anyway, so I kind of agree with both parties where it's like, you know, when you're in your later years, you know, you're let's say you're in your mid 70s, right? You're 75. Your life is really like, you know, you're old, you know, you're retired, you don't really do a lot besides sit like on your couch, like, you know, in your chair in your den and fart and fucking smoke a pipe all day. Like, it would be nice to, relive a lot of, or like just live out a lot of stuff. Maybe, in an avatar that's like a younger version of yourself, be able to run,
Right.
do water sports or surfing or you skateboard,
Implement
whatever
yourself
maybe.
into like your fucking favorite novel or
Exactly.
video game.
Exactly. Yeah,
Your
like
favorite
that would be
anime,
cool.
become a character in it or something like that. Like
Exactly. But I agree with that. That would be sick. But you also have to think of maybe those side effects of just like, eventually your life is going to consist of just that, where you're not going to want to wake up from that, but you kind of have to eventually, right?
I mean,
Because you're going to get so afraid of, oh, well, shit, I'm old again. I can't do all this stuff like I do in this real world. To kind of the point that Cameron was saying is like in Inception, how, fucking Leo's wife went fucking nuts because every time she would wake up, she would dread it and like all this other stuff. So it's a catch-22. Would you rather have the time of your fucking life?
No, she just
than
couldn't
have like
she
distinguish
just couldn't
reality.
discern real life
exactly
from the other world. But that's one thing that you could if you woke up and you're like, yeah, this isn't my anime fucking world. You know what I mean? Like,
Bazinga.
That's what I was saying though, is there would have to be like a specific time limit that you have in the world.
No. Let's say
Every
you treated
day
Well, that's
you
why I
only
said
can go in
recreational.
for like 2 hours, so it limits the time and dependency that you develop
yeah.
from
No,
going
because-
into there.
Because for me, I'm not so one-track mind that I would have to be in the same world forever. I would
But
be
it would
jumping
be
around
better than
between
the world you're in
every
already.
few hours. I'd be like,
That's
oh,
a
fuck this shit.
conundrum.
I don't want to, be in this anime world for my whole fucking life. I want to go play Counter-Strike or something. You know what I mean? Like
So
I'm a
so here's
character
the
in
thing.
Counter-Strike.
You want to
all
play
the time.
Counter-Strike in real life? Join the army.
I mean, but you're not gonna die.
Quiet you. So here's the thing. It depends on how good it is.
Wait, was I
No,
just?
we're talking about.
Was
like,
I just
we're talking about the
silenced by
Matrix.
this man?
Do you remember
The
when
Matrix?
Neo could fucking work the Matrix and he would just be like, guns, fucking
If the
kung
Matrix-
fu. Like, you could do anything you fucking want, bro.
if you really have that much control, you can do so much good shit that it effectively would become addictive, just like a drug is addictive. You would become addicted to this ability to just control whatever the fuck you want and do whatever the fuck you want.
Meth.
So, and meth,
Yeah,
I
because
don't have a
Virtual meth.
because I
dude, yeah, virtual meth, dude,
that's effectively
or
what it
LSD,
becomes.
virtual LSD, a
Yeah,
dream
you're
within
just
a
chilling
dream,
in the virtual
Inception.
world.
that would be
I read a
easily
book and
you're
possible
like,
with this.
Let me hit some virtual Scante right now. like,
Exactly,
why
that
not?
would be totally possible.
God
You could
damn.
do virtual fucking drugs. Like that's like easily implemented.
That's like Second Life, bro.
Literally Inception.
You got any topics you want to talk about?
Death and despair.
Yeah,
Death
Sam.
and despair.
I've been feeling pretty low this week.
Do we want to go down that hole?
No,
This is the
let's not.
depression episode.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk this out, bro. What you got for us?
I want to slide down the pole to hell like Lil Nas X did.
Dude, hey, yes,
Don't we
that's
all?
one thing. That is
Don't we
one
all?
thing that I wanted to talk about this episode. Okay, Lil Nas X with his fucking video with him giving a lap dance to Satan. Okay, low key, that video was a
Oh,
fucking
boy.
bop. That was such a good video. And like,
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a great
Priceless.
fucking video.
I haven't seen it, but I heard about
I
it.
haven't seen it, but I've heard everything about it, and it sounds hilarious.
It's gold.
Dude, it's such a good video. It's like so meme worthy. So many fucking memes can come out of that video.
We
Mhm.
live
I
in
actually
fucking
saw-
2021.
We live in
And
a society.
if there's people in 2021 that are gonna hate on others for being gay or what have you, you're a fucking scumbag. Like fuck you.
I think the
So
more
we're moving on
more
without you.
I mean, okay, so there was two different ways that this went down in my eyes. There was the people that were like, this is blasphemy. This is worshiping the devil. And then there was the other half that were like, why are people giving this gay guy any attention? His 15 minutes of fame are over. So there was the two sides that I saw that were really negative, and then everybody else was like,
Hasn't he?
holy shit, you guys are fucking like
Stupid.
ignorant as fuck.
Yeah.
But I actually saw a
That
meme
boomer
where
mindset.
Saturday Night Live actually had like, it was like a little Nas lookalike actually giving Jesus like a lap dance this time.
Oh my
dance
god,
for
I need to
Jesus.
watch that.
Lap dance for Jesus. And then I think little Nas posted it and he was like, oh shit, SNL going to hell. Because that's what everybody was saying about him or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I did see a lot of angry rednecks that were like, my 6-year-old child really loves this song, and now I can't believe that you're a devil worshiper and you're sending all of our children to Hades with this message of evil, vile, devil worshiping bullshit. And it's just like, oh my god, fucking
The same
Shut
people
up.
that
In
voted
20
for
years from
Trump
now-
in 2016.
This is
obviously.
why.
I mean,
this-
they all
this is-
watch fucking Fox News and think that Mr. Potato Head is like,
This is the best thing about the passage of time, is that all those old boomers will soon go away.
Oh yeah,
Well,
we'll be
no,
doing
love.
No, because this bullshit gets passed on through generation.
It is
Yeah,
Oh
true.
yeah.
does.
Oh yeah, just like racism, dude. People say, "Oh, that's that's the way I was raised." Well, I don't give a fuck the way you were raised.
like
You have like the
first-
opportunity to fucking like make a difference.
Yeah.
Don't be like your past generation.
And that
Holy fuck.
excuse is always given to the older generation first. That's
Yeah.
just how they were raised. They grew up in the 60s when shit was still fucking, racist
Segregated and shit.
It's just, it blows my fucking mind, like and now
We live in the future, dog.
I see Facebook posts where it's like people that are literally like parroting the same thing that they hear from their parents. That is just like, I mean,
Oh my god. yeah.
we'll drop the bomb right now. I posted a thing on Facebook earlier this week talking about, people going to shows and parties.
Oh my god, I saw
during
that.
this time of the COVID, and I
knew
have
you were
to
gonna
say
bring this
about
up.
30% of the people that either commented or liked / laugh emojied this fucking post, it was about 30%. And most
Yeah.
of the comments, were negative in the fact that this is the whole archetype of these people is they're the outspoken ones. They're the ones that post on their page about every single thing that they see about this bullshit. So you go on their page and it's like 5G wireless virus fucking, like you're going to get the
Damn.
5G if you
Give
get
me
if you get the
5G, I'm ready.
vaccine shit. You know
I'm
what I
ready
mean? Like,
for
Give me that microchip, bitch.
yeah, you
Put me in
go
the
down their
Matrix.
page and it's either they're so heavy into the politics that they're like, ready to hang the fucking governor of their state, or
Yeah.
just get into the hugest arguments on any like thread that they see pertaining to this. And then there's the few sensible people that are like, bro, what, like these people fucking sound a little bit crazy. You know what I mean? Like I feel kind of bad for their families. You know what I mean? It's like,
When you
Yeah.
have people like that, there's one word that comes to mind. All these kind of people that just think
Incel.
that the word is selfishness.
Yes.
People that
Holy fuck.
genuinely don't care about other people's existence and how other people feel and how other people live. All they
Thank
care
you.
about is themselves
Yeah.
and how it
it's
affects
very
them.
true.
We live in a world
That's
of
the key word.
selfishness.
it's
Where-
very true.
Yeah, we live in a world of selflessness where selfishness. Sorry,
Selfishness.
where
There's a big difference.
it's like me. All I care about is me. I don't give a fuck who you are or where you come from. What I say is right because I said so. No, like,
Or just because that's my
It-
belief.
for example, anti-maskers.
By the way, this episode's gonna
Holy
break our 100% like streak. Skirt.
Oh, 100%. I don't give a fuck. But
I mean, if
holy fuck,
if it brought more views to this episode, I don't give a shit because the next episode after this is just it's probably going to do better.
Yeah.
You know,
But
what I
yeah,
mean? It's
so
probably-
like I
it's
was
gonna-
saying, for
I don't know. I think that people that take their time to go out of their way to hate on something, like, you know, like, oh, I disagree with this. It's time for me to click dislike so I can show them, you know, just how I feel about this.
I
It's
don't like that.
You're literally going out of your way to just say fuck you to somebody. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if that kind of person is you know, is gonna do that, person's gonna do that regardless of whatever's going down. You know what I mean? They're not sitting there hovering over the like button going, I need to hear 100% things that I agree
I don't like
with
something that
until I
Chance said.
click over to dislike.
You know.
Did you hear about YouTube's getting rid of the dislikes?
Yeah, they're actually thinking about getting rid of the dislike.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's
Well,
actually.
Justin Bieber's maybe won't be the most disliked video on YouTube anymore.
I think it's actually.
Well, it
something
will
that's
be,
kind of
but it
like
just won't
a
be visible.
good thing.
It won't be visible.
I
Did
know
say
that
maybe?
sounds
I meant
kind of
maybe.
bad in the terms of like, you know, everybody should have a voice and it should be reflected, kind of thing. But that's also the same, you know, people that will just go to like a video to dislike it just to be like, you know, dicks. Yeah, you know.
Here's the thing: if they do that, there's probably a reason. It may not be a good reason, but there's a reason.
No, that's true.
And you have to think of it like the alternative. So if this dislikes don't exist, then if there is something that is legitimately bad or legitimately a scam in some cases, there won't be that visibility of this is a scam, please avoid this.
No,
So-
but I think the way that reflects is the algorithm.
It can only do so much.
I mean, in terms of like
And
search results and stuff like
in-
that.
Algorithms are always imperfect.
No,
there's
What I'm
no
talking about is,
algorithm
like,
in the
search,
world that's
search
perfect.
results. So, like, let's say you searched up something that was like a tutorial, that had 98% dislikes. That's not going to be the first thing that pops up in that
No, it's
tutorial
not.
section.
It's
Yeah,
not.
it does work, but again, it's not going to be a perfect situation.
Yeah, no, I
There
get that. I
has
feel
to
like there's
be
going to be a
human
workaround.
elements. There has to be some sort of human element where when you look at the likes, you can say, all right, humans have declared this to be a good or a bad thing, right? For whatever reason. Humans are imperfect too, but you need both. You can't have one and only one. You need
Yeah,
both.
but I'm gonna-
You need both the algorithm and the human element.
I'm going
in
to say
order
it's
to
it's
engage.
skewed. It's skewed regardless, because I'll open up a fucking video that's posted 3 minutes into being posted, and it's a 16-minute video, and there will be like 54 dislikes in that 3 minutes. Like,
So-
who the fuck watched this whole 16-minute video in 3 minutes and had the thought of, hey, this is a bad video because I disagree with this?
Here's the thing, though. Sometimes in the first 3 minutes of a video, you can tell what the rest of the video is going to be like. Sometimes the content speaks for itself, even in those first
so
couple
your
seconds.
you're already ready to give it a dislike in the first 3 minutes of watching it?
Me personally, I don't really like or dislike.
No, I know, but I just mean as a normal person thinking about like giving likes and dislikes, like, I don't know. It seems like very negative energy you're trying to put out there just from the first 3 minutes of a video.
But you got to think about it like this. Even for all of its negatives, the dislike system still plays a benefit when something is legitimately bad or scam or trustworthy or untrustworthy.
No, that's true. But
The system being there, because an algorithm is not going to detect if something's a scam.
yeah.
If it has all the
But
clickbait, if it has all the
that's
keywords,
also
it's going to be
also
there.
not true, because there are plenty of times when you go to, like, I went to a BitTorrent, a mining channel for
You're
different
going to
stuff,
jail.
and there was like 56 likes and 4 dislikes for this video that was giving like a tutorial on how to mine and shit like that. And when I
Okay.
looked further into it, it was giving me like this, hey, this third party program needs to download, which was nowhere in the fucking video. So it already gave me like vibes that was like, this seems like a phishing scam. Like they're trying to get like malware or some kind of like
trying to get my
something
info.
to fuck me over already.
Well, when there's only
how
60
do you
dislikes or
combat
likes
this
total,
as something that maybe has a bot that likes it? You know what I mean?
it's true, but well, in the case of that video you just described, you said there was only like 50 likes, right? Or 60 likes?
Yeah.
No one's going to use a bot to post
I wouldn't trust it.
50. No one's going to use a bot to post 50 dislikes.
I mean, if you're
They would
getting
put- they
somebody
would use a
to
bot to post
download your
500,000
phishingware that's
dislikes.
probably going to steal your like wallet on Bitcoin, that seems like a very easy
But
scam.
if that was the case, they're like, I don't know, how do I explain it? It's like the majority masses, right? Like if it's not a popular video in the first place,
No, but
then
but
theoretically
do you know
there's
how
not going to be that
scams work?
visibility
Only like
anyways.
1% of people fall for it, but those 1% always fucking fall for it.
I don't know, man. People are going to be stupid regardless.
Yeah.
So if you guys didn't know, I'm not going to say the artist's name, but a certain artist put a post on Facebook, and I think it has to do kind of with a post that another artist put out. But a certain artist put out, "I believe in God, not luck." And this is an artist in like the dubstep scene. Like, he's a pretty very well-known artist. And certain comments are saying, certain things like, amen, brother, don't let anyone question your faith in God, blah, 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 blah. But then you have other people that say, "I now believe in your lack of understanding." Right? Where it's like, people will essentially put their beliefs online and say, "This is what I believe to be true." There's nothing that's
And
gonna
then they'll
change that.
trash talk people that think differently from them.
Exactly. So if you guys know who I'm talking about,
I mean,
right?
no, I have no idea in context who you're talking about, but
Nope.
it's hard to play. It's hard to play both sides because in terms, they both want the same thing. It's like the Christians want to convert people to Christianity. They want people to see, Christ or whatever. And then atheists want people to realize that their beliefs is the right belief. So they're always trying to push one thing onto another. And I think what happens is when it spills over and it's like, you need to see things from my side. You know what I mean? It's like, let the fucking guy who believes in fucking Jesus believe in Jesus, and
I'm
don't
a
give him shit.
like me myself.
You wouldn't
I'm a
like it
fucking
as an
Christian, but I don't
atheist.
pour myself on other people. So
Yeah,
like, I
I
don't
wouldn't like
fucking
it as an
force it on
atheist
other
being
people.
like, God is gonna come down and fucking smite you unless you become a Christian.
Rain hellfire.
Yeah,
Your boy Justin is an atheist, but never
I am
once
too. I
have I
mean-
ever gone to someone and be like,
I'm
"You need to
agnostic,
see
really.
this my way."
yeah, no,
Yeah.
but see,
It's all
that's the thing.
selfishness.
That's the thing. It doesn't matter if you're one or the other. There's still two types of people that want to push that thing onto you. They either go, you need to believe in Jesus or you're going to hell, or they go, ha ha ha, you're so fucking stupid because you believe in Jesus. Like, there doesn't need to be that extreme where you're like, yeah, if you don't believe in God, that's fucking on you, bro.
As that
no
one
problem.
rap guy said, I forget his name. He says, "Sit down, be humble.
Sit down, be
Think
humble.
about yourself.
Kendrick Lamar.
Don't worry about
Kendrick
don't
Lamar.
worry about converting."
Exactly.
Just
And
don't-
I think
just don't mess with other
that's
people.
just how like life should work out, where it's like, don't push your fucking beliefs on anybody.
So, Cameron, what do you think of this deep philosophical topic?
I was about to ask,
Yeah,
because
Cam,
Cameron
where-
might know
where
a thing
do-
or two
where's
about
your
like fucking
religion?
the certain artists that were mentioned.
What are
I
your
don't.
thoughts? What?
No.
Okay.
Verbose as always.
Seal break.
Just the two of us. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba. You remember in Austin Powers when they sang that song? And they had like a unique rap with that song. Remember that? Really? You didn't see Austin? Did you see any of the
I've
Austin
seen a
Powers
few
movies?
of them. I just don't remember that part.
Honestly, of all the fucking shitty, Hollywood remakes. Like they want to remake movies like Ghostbusters and shit. Fuck that. Let's get a new Austin Powers movie.
They wouldn't
I get
hold
some-
up though.
Can I get some smiley faces in the chat for a new Austin Powers movie? That would be amazing. Austin
you
Just
wouldn't
ask
Powers.
for
hold up,
smileys
though.
in the chat when you're not streaming.
Smileys. Put some smileys in the chat right now. Right there. I'm gonna edit that shit in. So I was watching this porn video, right? And the plot of this porn video was that she was like a Twitch girl, right?
I love it.
And the
she
funny
left
thing
the
about
video on.
What?
She left the stream running.
So
Is that the plot?
I mean, the plot is more like that she does like. that is loud. So the plot of this porn video, it's
so
more that she
good.
just does like sexy shit on stream, right? But the funny thing about it that I wanted to point out is
Okay, I'm back.
she
What
literally took the Twitch chat from a Sweet Anita stream and put it there.
Oh no,
Like,
I've
if
seen
you-
this. I've seen this. I've seen this.
if-
I've seen
if
this. And it
you-
just keeps looping over and over the same
Yeah, and
things,
if you
huh?
read the chat, you can see it says Sweet Anita, and I'm like, that's
Yeah.
Dude,
that's
I
not
love
what I'm
watching Sweet Anita. She's fucking
And
awesome.
it just
dude.
keeps rotating like the same
Yeah.
the
Did you
same
see
chat,
the video
huh?
I'm thinking of?
Do you really love Sweet Anita?
Dude, Sweet Anita's fucking funny, dude.
Sweet Anita's fucking based.
Dude,
I mean, she is. She's pretty fucking dope. I'm not gonna lie.
she has really good content. Like I know a lot of her stuff.
wouldn't
Like I
say
get
really good
notifications.
content,
Holy
but-
shit! I get notifications from her like where like most of the shit is just like she does like just chatting streams and stuff like that. But it's one of those like she has this issue that like makes her right. Like her streams wouldn't be what they are without the fact that she has a tick, like she has, Tourette's, and it's so fucking funny when like
Yeah.
certain shit gets said.
I mean, but
she
that
does
is
say
kind of
some legitimately funny things.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But I mean, in the end, is it like the tick that's funny, or is it like her that's funny? You know what I mean?
Both.
It's both.
Honestly, it's both.
And I get that.
Like,
but it's
have
like,
you watched her streams?
Yeah, of course.
They're great.
Yeah, and I get that, but at some point, it's like we're taught not to like laugh at people's disabilities, and so it's like I'm not one to be like. I mean, I understand like political correctness or whatever, but at some point, it's like, is the tick the funny because she's saying balls and cock or whatever, or
She
is
is
it
saying
like
balls and cock.
her being funny? You know what I mean? And
It's both.
like, I think that's like half the difference of like a good content creator or just one that
Yeah.
actually says, shit because of her fucking Twitch or whatever. You know
So
what
it's
I mean?
not necessarily that she's saying balls and cock. It's also that
I love Sweet Anita. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is like I see the
But
two
she's
different
great.
sides.
in addition to doing that, there's like imagine you like when we talk normally, right? We know what we're saying before we say it. Imagine being able to react to yourself. That's what we see, and that's funny because she'll say something that's funny, like because of
Yeah.
her tick, cock balls, etc. And then we see her reaction to herself.
Yeah, it's
And
just like,
that-
oh shit.
That's where the funny comes in because that's her
Yeah.
her true self, essentially. She's an awesome person, an awesome individual. But that's what's funny, not necessarily the cock and balls, although
Yeah.
cock and balls are funny. Dick and balls, cock and balls, etc. It's the idea of someone like reacting to their self is kind of interesting to me, at least.
No, I do have to give it to her. I don't have to, dwindle her content down to just her ticks. Like I do find like the did I say? Did it
What the
sound like I
fuck are
said
you
tits?
laughing at, Cam?
Nothing.
Cam laughed as soon as I said ticks, but it sounded like I said ticks.
You
tits or
said
something.
dicks.
He said tits.
I'm pretty sure he said ticks.
Yeah, ticks. But no,
So-
I love the girl. She's hilarious, honestly.
So there's
Yeah, and
So-
she's great, man. To kind of go off this, who's some? Sorry, Justin, I hate to cut you off.
no,
but
go on.
Who's some people that you guys are watching right now? Like for me, I'm watching kind of some guys that I've been watching since like the MW2 days, where it's KYR Speedy, but then what they're doing right now is they're playing Minecraft, but it's a Pokemon mod where it's called Pixelmon, and it's
I have
fucking
seen that.
awesome, dude. They have
does look
so
pretty
many people
interesting.
on it this season.
So
Like it's super cool because you can like you like Pokemon spawn and you can like catch them and you can actually like craft certain like Pokeballs, like Great Balls, Quick Balls, Master Balls, like stuff like that. But it takes like certain types of materials, and it's so fucking cool.
So I have not really done much Twitch recently. I've been doing more like YouTube stuff. Something about just like watching other people. I mean, there's advantages, but I can't. I've never been one of those like dedicated people to just watch Twitch people all day long. You know.
Mhm. Well, no, I watch. So I don't tune in to the live streams.
I think
when
you
it
just
comes
meant
to,
more like creators
those
in
guys?
general.
Do you guys have
Well-
anyone
well-
you like simp for?
Mm. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can
Uh-oh.
get them right. Hold on, I got
What about
you,
Cam?
fam.
What
I
you got
fucking
any
got you.
creators you've been into lately?
Well, I watch a lot of Tarkov streams.
Who's
Mm.
the streamer that plays Tarkov?
Huh?
Who plays Tarkov that you watch?
There's a guy named Landmark, and he's fucking insane, bro. He literally
Landmark?
makes
I feel like
Hell
I've
yeah.
heard of him.
he makes Tarkov look like Call of Duty.
That's insane.
I don't know what that means.
He's a fucking animal in that game.
Well,
it's not even funny.
Justin, let's say in percentage wise, like energy, like Tarkov is like a 25%, and like Call of Duty's like 125%. So turning
still don't
a
know what
game
that
that's like
means.
Tarkov into Call of Duty is super impressive because there's not a lot of action.
Yeah,
So what you're saying is Tarkov is slower paced.
absolutely.
Super slow pace.
Yeah, a whole raid takes almost a full hour. If you drop in like with a full lobby, you'll get a full hour.
You see, I'm not the hugest fan of like games that take a lot of time like that.
Mhm.
I am because there's the realism element.
I like
It's
anything
like you're
that's
really
grindy
there.
where you
But
can
I'm playing a
actually
game
get
though.
something
Am I
out
really
of
in it for the realism?
I am, at least for this game.
I get you. I get you.
So, do you mean Max? When you come across a question where it's like, you know, who do you like? What was the question again? Sorry.
Come.
Who do I simp for?
Who do
Yeah,
you
like
simp for?
on-
Come.
Online. Like,
Are we talking?
dude.
Does it matter between like? Okay, so this is such a loaded question because simping could be like
maybe
you know,
like who we think we're cute. Like who like I would say like some cute people, right?
huh?
Because I don't necessarily simp
Some
for anybody.
key
Like, the
people?
only
Chance, are you a
person I-
fucking alien?
the-
Are you fucking
the-
alien? Is that what's going
the-
on here? Are
the
you one of
only
those
person
Area
I simp for is
51
my wife.
army aliens I've heard so much about?
Yes.
Rickasang booty, fuck
Like somebody, fuck you, back.
Uh-oh, we're going off the rails, folks.
So I wouldn't say that there's anybody I simp for right now, but in terms of like actual content creators, Penguin Zero and
Yeah.
Ludwig and Scott the
Dude,
Waz.
Ludwig kind of bores me, to be honest.
Who?
Ludwig kind of bores me.
Ludwig.
It all depends on the content, really. It's hit or miss a lot of the time, but honestly, what it is for him about me is he looks at things as more of like a businessman about Twitch than most of the Twitch people. So
His
he kind-
subathon was fucking...
I mean, not only
the
the,
most
subathon,
genius
but
idea.
but the way he goes about recording his streams is set up to be able to transition into YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So he always goes for like an intro. He introduces what he's doing. That's technically used for the YouTube video. So it ends up coming out like, perfect for a YouTube video, depending on what he's doing on. So he'll play GeoGuessr or whatever, introduce the game, introduce the concept, do it, and then, depending on his stream, he could have 5 or 6 videos out of whatever he does and uploads once a day. It might not be like the most entertaining content, but the way he goes about it is something that I would like to emulate.
The number one Twitch person, even though he actually doesn't stream on Twitch anymore, he streams on Facebook. The number one streamer that I've watched in recent weeks is Disguised Toast.
Dude, Toast?
So,
Dude,
okay.
Toast is awesome.
People, how do I explain it? I feel like people give Among Us a bad rep because it came directly after Fall Guys.
Yeah.
Fall Guys was the flavor of the month game, right? Flavor of the month. It existed for a month everywhere, and then it died. I personally feel like Among Us gets almost a bad rep. I feel like the fact that it relies on the human social element gives it so much more substance than fucking Fall Guys.
Yeah,
And
I'd have
feel
to
like
say,
it's not a flavor of a month. It's just a legit cool social experiment. And the people that are, playing those games, to me, that's fucking interesting. I like that shit.
Yeah.
And I would play it more if I had more friends.
Yeah,
I
by the
mean-
way, the new airship map is out.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm gonna drop some backlash at you right now. So
Let's go.
When-
Hear it. I'm ready.
when Fall Guys
Round 1.
when Fall
Fight!
Guys came out, fucking Among Us was already 2 years old. It didn't
Yeah,
have
Among
the
Us has
fucking.
been out for a while.
It didn't have the legs to get it anywhere else until all the streamers came in and started doing collabs. And when you can see 10 of
So
your
that was
favorite
more of a discovery
or 10 of one of your favorite content creators and 9 other people you could potentially it brings on a whole different level of content. And so during that time, it was the meta of the collab content between big creators.
Because that's what
So-
Twitch is now. It is a collab meta.
Yeah, but like what I said, when the time came, which was specifically around the time that Fall Guys came out, but it wasn't specifically because of Fall Guys, Among Us became popular or Among Us got any shit for it. Because if anything, from what I've heard, is Fall Guys just become a dead game immediately. Among Us has fucking lasted what 8 months now?
And there's a reason for it. Because it's a better game.
Exactly. And so what I'm coming at
Because
you with
there
is I
is
haven't heard
infinite
anybody give
potential.
Among Us any shit because of Fall Guys. If anything, it was Fall Guys just died on its own because it was a shitty
Yeah.
game.
It was super short-lived.
It just didn't have enough content.
There's
and
no
substance.
way there's nothing fun about Fall Guys between hey, there's 2 other content
The
creators
novelty.
on the screen.
The
with them.
novelty.
Yeah, there was a little bit of novelty behind it because it was goofy and it was a little bit interesting to see the way that things worked. But Among Us is on a whole different category. Where
It has
you're seeing
infinite
you're seeing
social
different
potential.
sides of people's personality because they have to lie or play some meta game.
That to
And
me is
they're
fascinating.
on top of that, they're creating content with people you've always wanted to see play together.
Yeah.
Well, I did the intro, so I can't do the outro too.
Fuck it, I'll do it.
Chance, it's up to you.
All right,
I'll
my
do
boy.
it. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Go on.
That's
Oh, are
round
you
two.
done? Oh. And
And
thank
on
you very
that
much
note-
for tuning in. We appreciate
And on
it,
that
everybody.
note, thanks for watching. the lords of the Pointless Podcast.
I love
Continue-
rubber chickens.
Shut up. We will continue to be pointless forever onwards. Thank you for watching. Good night. Gang, gang. Fuck you.